Okay, on Make Your Belly Happy Barbecue, we're going to, since kind of barbecue season's been put on hold, I'm going to do some other stuff, some of my favorite foods. One of my favorites, absolute favorites, is Wiener Schnitzel. Wiener Schnitzel is a German food, or I think it's German because that's where I ate it over in Germany. And my dad was stationed over there when he was in the Army. And it was a Wiener Schnitzel actually means Viennese cutlets. So it came from Vienna, Austria. I think it actually originated in France, and then to Vienna, Austria, and then to Germany, and then to all over the world. And then to my belly. That's the best part. But we're going to look at the ingredients here, and then I'm going to start showing you how to cook this. The first thing you need is some kind of pork. I'm doing a pork loin because I can get nice slices out of this. Then you'll need some oil for frying, flour because I flour it, and then I dip it in an eggy weggies, and milk, and I dredge it in that, and then I'm going to stick it out and finish it off with some plain breadcrumbs or flavored Italian breadcrumbs, whichever one you like, because I always put a little bit of salt, garlic, and pepper in some AP rub. I always put that in with my breadcrumbs anyways. So we'll get to this, and we're going to make our bellies happy today. On the mountain, pork loin unwrapped and washed and get all that gooey stuff off of it. I like to trim this fat cap off the back side of this, just for the fact that I don't want it on my cutlets. So I just give it a nice trim there. Get underneath of it here. And then you start cutting it in slices. I like to go about a finger width away, like that. You can make it bigger pieces if you want. It just means it'll be bigger than in your pan. And we're going to pound this with a Wiener, our faithful kitchen hammer. And if you have a puppy, all right, now you got all the cutlets cut. We're going to take our magic kitchen hammer here, and we're going to pound these things until they're fairly thin. You want to pound at least down to where they're like a quarter of an inch or more. I like them almost paper thin. And they cook really fast, and that's just my preference. But I use this hammer with the spikes on one end, and basically it's a tenderizing hammer, and I'm tenderizing the crap out of these things because we want it to be almost melt in your mouth. All right. All right, next step is we're going to take our cutlets, pounded thin, and we're going to dredge them in flour, and then we're going to set them off to the side and let them sit there, just sit there and wait. Let them soak up any juices that are on the outsides. And what that does, what this flour does, it keeps the breading and helps the breading stick to the meat, so that when you're frying it and it scrapes, the breading won't pull off. So we're gonna dredge these all up. All right, now we got all of our meat dredged through the flour. I'm going to get some egg and milk wash. That's our next step. All right, next step is to take a couple eggs with 2 cups of milk, and then whisk that together and make a wash for the Wiener Schnitzel. There might be a better ratio, but I've always used 1 egg per cup, and today I'm going to use 2 eggs for 2 cups. And get all that whisked up. By the way, while I'm whisking this up, I wanted to thank you guys for subscribing to my channel. Over 100 now, and I'd like to get that up so as many people can watch my videos and make their bellies happy. So keep giving me those thumbs up, keep subscribing, keep liking, leave comments, everything like that, all that good YouTube stuff. If there's a question you have about what I've done, just leave a comment. I'll try and get to it as soon as possible. Now we're ready for the next step. All right, just to recap, we pounded our meat, we've dredged it in flour. Now we're going to dip it in the egg and milk wash, and then in breadcrumbs, and then put it on the pan to rest for just a few minutes. If the crumbs aren't sticking, you might want to stick it back in there, because you want those crumbs to stick on every piece of your cutlet. There we go. And we're going to set it in that pan. Stop. And I'm going to continue getting these all breaded nice so I can get them on the cooker. All right, we're gonna start frying these. I put enough oil to basically cover the bottom of the pan, and you want to heat it up to about 350 degrees on like a medium-high heat, and then we're going to start frying these things. It doesn't take long to fry them. You just brown them on one side. When it turns like a dark golden brown, flip to the other side. And if you see that white like fat rendering coming through the breading, flip it over again. Sometimes that happens. And then we're going to put them in a pan with some paper towels, let them drain in that, add a little salt, and then we're done. So I'm going to get my oil heated up, and as soon as it's heating up, we'll be ready to fry. Okay, so we're going to take these. The oil's up about 350. It's about 350 degrees on a medium-high heat, and this pan's big enough. I'm going to do 3 of them at a time, 3 small ones. And so we just let them sit there, and it's about 5 or 6 minutes on each side. I wait and watch to where these edges start getting brown, and I'll check and see on the bottom if it looks brown or not. And then, so just let them sit there for a minute. Loving that German polka music. That's the best music to listen to when you're cooking Wiener Schnitzel. You know, when we lived in Germany over in Mannheim, when my dad was stationed over there, that was some of the best times I remember in my life. I don't remember a lot of it because I was only in 1st, 2nd, 3rd grade, but I remember going to castles, and Dad always took time on weekends to take us places and go visit different places. It was a good time. I'd like to go back sometime. The clean country. Check these here. Starting to get a little brown. Let them sit for a little bit. But you don't want enough oil to cover the pork chop or the Wiener Schnitzel. You want to just where it's sitting in oil. So you kind of like you're deep frying it, I guess. Okay, when you start seeing like the blood and a little bit of the moisture coming through on this side, time to flip them. You want them to be like a nice golden brown. And let them sit on that side. Now you might see some more like this white stuff that bubbles through the skin or the meat, and that's just your fat rendering out, and that's a good thing. All right, I'm finishing up cooking all these. Last three here, they're looking pretty good so far. This is what I got. Looks pretty good. Happy belly, happy belly, happy belly. It's been kind of a struggle cooking out here on this open fire, but I don't want to get grease all over the kitchen. You can deep fry them. You know, I've seen them done all different ways. As long as you got good clean oil when you deep fry, because if not, they kind of taste, I don't know, burnt tasting or whatever, that when you get that burnt oil tasting. So I have deep fried them, and they were pretty good. I like pan fried. So let me get these finished up, and then we're gonna put them on a plate and see if our bellies get happy today. This is all fried up. Now it's just waiting for some side dishes. You can put kraut, potatoes, German potato salad. That's one of my next videos coming up soon. Mashed potatoes, corn, beans, whatever you guys like. I personally don't eat no beans, but you guys like beans, I guess you can eat beans with it. But I like corn and mashed potatoes with my Wiener Schnitzel. And what's really good is put in the refrigerator, put it in Tupperware. Late night snack, your belly's rumbling, you need a happy belly at midnight. Go get you a little piece, eat it. It's good cold. I like it warmed up. It's just good stuff. So let's see about this happy belly. Yeah, that's good stuff. Make my belly happy. Alright, even days later, cold Wiener Schnitzel, they're still the bomb. Making my belly happy days later.